So we was talking about you went through a phase of artist development.
Yeah, for sure. So, when I first came to my manager, I had music, and the one thing that I don't struggle with is creating music. That's what I do. But there's so much more that goes into it. Creating the music only like 20% of the puzzle. And
you gotta know the business within this business.
You got to know the business, and you got to have a story around your music. You got to be able to sell it. You got to be able to market yourself, market the music. Everybody, it's 60,000 songs that drops on Spotify or streaming platforms every day. What's the incentive for the world to hear you? You know what I mean?
What makes you different? And who's your demographic? You can't be a drill artist trying to get it to country artists. Not saying they don't work, but like, you know what I get? You know what I mean? Like, you just can't. You have to know your demographics, and as we spoke of earlier, your psychographics, attention span of people. You have to know all of that.
Exactly. So, that was the biggest piece. Like I said, like learning to speak to media, learning to perform. But when I first met my manager, I thought his ass was a broken record, because he was just like, curate, gotta curate.
Right.
I'm like, man, fuck curating. Put the music out.
You can't just put the music out. You have to come up with a whole plan.
Yeah.
I tell people you have to think logically and make wise decisions, but that's with everything in life, not just with like a day-to-day activity, with your business as well. And you mentioned creating the music is only 20%, and which I've been saying for the almost 10 years I've been doing media. It is only 20%. The rest is business.
Yes.
So a lot of times people don't read over contracts. We've seen that happen numerous of times before our times, of course. So, like, what makes you different in a business standpoint as an artist?
I think what makes me different is like coming in this game. One, I understand that it's a business, and then two, you hearing music. I don't fuck with rap niggas. I don't fuck with industry niggas.
Right.
What they really saying is the music industry is corporate America, and I don't operate off of calendars. I don't operate off of email. I don't operate off of meetings. I'm an artist. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Now, do you think that's a problem?
No. We live in a capitalist environment, and the music industry has created blueprints. Like, you don't like it, start your own label. You know what I'm saying? But even before you start a business, most people are W-2 first. You learn the workforce first.
Right.
So I don't understand what's so bad about being a part of the industry, learning the industry, and then creating yourself. Even Puff did it with Uptown Records after he got fired. Then he created Bad Boy, but he learned the game first. You know what I'm saying?
Intended. That is true. So what's your plan within your brand? Because you're not just an artist, you're a brand within yourself.
Yeah.
What do you see yourself doing?
So, first and foremost, I want to get to the highest level of music and succeed there, right? And I mean on a global level, global touring, global festivals, merch that sells globally, hopefully open stores or flagship stores. But I would like to elevate the brand to where, you may see a Netflix series come out, and this is in the form of a Pixar character or animated character.
I see where you're going here.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on top of that, I did create a label and sign myself to the label. So I'm not looking for a recording deal. I'm looking for promotion and distribution or exclusive licensing. But I want to recreate myself, duplicate myself as many times as I can for the business aspect of it, but to also be able to change other people's lives as well.
Right. Now, do you see yourself helping your children? This is something that I foresee.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself helping your children create a children's book based on Zach North? Or is that an idea?
Hey, I feel like you in my brain.
No, I mean...
I feel like you in my brain. Somehow you get the tea. I'm trying to figure out how you get the tea.
Jasmine with the juice, and you know
Jasmine
the juice
with
is
the
better
juice.
than the tea. The tea is too messy.
Yeah, that's it. The tea too sweet. Ain't nothing sweet over here. Yeah, so definitely in the plan. I don't know if I necessarily want them to base it around Zach North. I am creating this legacy for them, but what I really want for them, I want them boys to create their own legacy. I just want to be able to give them my blueprint.
Right.
You know, my oldest wants to create video games.
So now, what was your childhood like growing up?
Woo!
Were you given the same opportunities, or was it like the trenches story, or what was it? Talk to me.
Nah, I grew up in a small town. It was very closed-minded, the Bible Belt. When I went to my counselor, you know, in high school, and I said, hey, you know, she was like, what do you want to do? I was like, go to the NFL. And she was like,
Is that really what you wanted to do?
At the time, yes, but did I love it? No. My love was music.
Okay.
So life happened the way it was supposed to, and then she was like, well, you know, there's not a likelihood of you doing that, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, okay, well, I want to do music. And then she said, well.
Was this a white teacher?
White counselor.
Oh, well, more than white counselor,
Yep.
more than likely.
Yep, 100%. And she was like, well, why don't you go to school and learn journalism and do this and do that? And I was like, cool. So I went to college. I was undecided as a major. I ended up dropping out because I'm like, why am I here? And then I started pursuing music full time. That's what I wanted to do. And if I can go back and do it again, I would have went to music school straight out of high school.
You know, I say the same thing. I would have went to school for journalism straight out of high school. Instead, I took like 2 years off, and then I went to school for court reporting and paralegal.
Yeah.
Of course, it helped me pay attention to details and things in that nature and listen, but that's nothing. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I definitely would have done it differently, but everything is a learning experience, and that's a part of your story. Like, listen, you know how sometimes the music artists always be like, oh, my teacher told me I was like, that's part of that. She said, no, you shouldn't be a basketball player. She said black boys can't jump. No, bitch, the white men can't jump. Okay.
Did you hoop?
I have all this height for no reason. No, I didn't.
Don't say for no reason. You at least you ain't gotta have nobody come get something off the cabinet for you.
Well, the reason is because my mom and dad, they were really tall. My dad was like 6'4".
Oh wow.
My mom, she was like 6'2". So
okay.
they're tall. My parents, they play ball. Not me.
Yeah.
I was too lazy. I didn't. You know what it is? I don't have certain coordination that it takes to play sports. If that makes sense.
Coordination is taught.
I mean, I could talk a lot of shit, but no, I can't grasp the whole concept.
Yeah,
of sports.
yeah.
I always just used to be into like talking to people. I was always the introverted, popular girl, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I always knew like where the parties were, where anything was going on. I always knew where to make a play, to come to money. I've always been that girl. So I don't know why I went to school for court reporting.
I didn't fit in until high school. I was popular, but I didn't have a lot of friends. I don't know if it was popular in a good way. I had to fight a lot. People used to like pick on me and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was the kid that was sitting in the front of the class. I raised my hand and asked questions. I love to learn.
Oh, you did what you were supposed to do as a child. You stood in a child's place.
Yeah. I was just very inquisitive. I like knowledge. I like to learn. I'm still that way. So, but at the time, you know, that's underappreciated. And I think like other kids kind of felt like, oh, you trying to show us up type shit. And I'm like, nah, I just need to ask this question 3 times so I can understand.
Right.
Yeah.
So your childhood was decent, or what influenced you to like do music from your childhood?
Well, first of all, shout out to my family. I had a wonderful village who raised me. So I had a blessed childhood, even though I grew up like really poor.
Okay.
I was still blessed, and I didn't get to feel it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When we really break down like what poverty is, I grew up in poverty, and I didn't realize that at the time. You know, so the inspiration point for me was, one, on my dad's side, having people who was engulfed in music, and then 2, my mom raised me in church, so I was constantly like seeing music and seeing people connect spiritually through music. I was in the youth choirs. I was doing all that. Like half of my family was in church, half of my family was in the street.
Balance, baby, balance.
Yeah, that's why I say you could take me to the trap house, you could take me to the White House, you could take me to the God's house, you could take me to a whorehouse. You can take me to your mama's house. I'm gonna be good everywhere.
That's, you know, it's balance, and people don't understand it, you know. And I like how you carry yourself because, of course, we just chilling, we just kicking it, but you still know how to answer questions. You're not like, oh, but for example, I'm the type of host where I just like conversation.
Yeah.
I don't, it kind of bothers me when someone says, oh, what questions are you going to ask beforehand? I mean, I understand it, but let the vibe talk.
100%.
You know, let the vibe talk. And I feel like artists should move, you know, should take some type of notes from Zach North.
Hey.
I'm just saying, humbly speaking.
Take the notes.
I do feel that way because you, like we spoke earlier about artist development. I feel like that's something major that lacks, and it's very bothering. I feel like it makes not just you guys' work harder, it makes my work harder as a media personality.
Yeah.
I don't have EPKs, I don't have bios, I don't have anything for artists sometimes. Don't get me wrong, it's nothing like fucking my head up too much because I know how to talk. Like, I don't know you, you don't know me, let's just talk.
Right.
And that's another thing about interviewing people. People are like, oh, how can you do it? You just talking. You know,
having a conversation.
Just talking. It's conversation. Yeah. That's why before I said to you, I was like, well, we're just having a conversation.
Yeah. I like how you phrase that. Now, I will tell you, my team definitely will ask for the questions beforehand. Mm-hmm. Now,
I don't think I got that. Maybe because, you know, they know I'm good at what I do.
Hey, listen, and likewise, we stopped really asking for them. I think when my manager was just like, fuck it, just talk.
Just talk. Seriously.
I know what I ain't gonna say on camera. You know what I mean? Like,
but it also takes the artist to know how to curve a question too. Like, if there's something that you don't want to, you know, answer, you don't have to be rude about it, because sometimes us as hosts, we can get offended off of things. For example, I don't know if you saw on Instagram, but there's this girl who was interviewed and she answered the question honestly. She was asked how many sexual partners she had. Her answer was about 2,000, men and women. I posted the video. Me personally, I think as a female, as a human, even a man, I think that's crazy.
I'd take her on a date just for being real, though.
Yeah, that's real, but I think that's also too crazy spiritually. Like, you got mad
energy,
soul ties and every person you had sex with is now in your DNA. From like, that's a lot of fucking, that's nasty to me.
Yeah.
I ain't judging, but I'm judging. So me being a host, I posted my slight opinion. I didn't really keep it vulgar or anything, but I had people saying like, oh, Jasmine, as a media host, how are you judging? Don't you guys want honesty? Absolutely. But I'm also human and I can have an opinion.
Oh yeah, you definitely can have an opinion. Now me, when you look at it like on the spiritual aspect of it though, when you talk about like, yeah, that's another thing. But at the same time, it ain't my spirit. You know what I mean? So
would you fuck with a girl who had 2,000 bodies? For real?
If hold on.
You would wife her? You would kiss her?
I believe. I believe.
We believe what that
we all fall short of the glory of God.
Zach, answer the question. Well, you said you would take her on a date. Now, would you wife her? What if the date was A1, like it went so great?
You can break soul ties. You can get. That's the whole point of
break 2,000 of them.
Hey, listen, that's the whole point of like Christianity. Like you can repent, you get born again, you change.
You definitely can, but 2,000 bodies.
Hey, listen, that's a lot of bodies, but I ain't gonna never say never.
You
now,
don't eat the groceries. We're hypothetically speaking.
Hey, on some G shit, if you mind, you mind, and if you.
So you would make a girl yours knowing that she had 2,000 bodies.
Everything that I do in life, I'm led spiritually. So if that's the person that was put in my life, then I'm gonna stand on that. I'm gonna stand by him. I'm gonna trust God instead of trust myself. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my daddy was a gangster preacher, so I definitely know the word. And you know, I ain't gonna hold you. You know, look,
Shut the fuck up.
I'm gaslighting like a
bullshit. You hear me? I'm like, yeah. All right.
Yeah. You know, I try not to lean to my own understanding. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes things is put here for our greater good. So who am I to talk about your 2,000 body? If God put you in my life, I'ma stand on you and in you.
I'll be your friend. I'll be your friend. Cause she said it was 2,000 men and women together. Cause she said I had a lot of females. Well, I'll be your homie, and I will help you heal.
I hope your pussy. I mean.